What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Gooner channel on this, the 3rd of July, and I'm going to be taking a forensic look at the big transfer stories, the big news around the summer transfer window as it relates to our beloved Arsenal Football Club. And I'm starting today with the big story, the big news, lots of talk around the fact that we're very close to making our first signing, and that will be Italy's left centre-back, Riccardo Calafiori, who currently plays at Bologna. And this was a story that was broken by respected Italian journalist Tancredi Palmer, who revealed that Arsenal were close to agreeing terms with Bologna. They'd already spoken to Calafiori, and he is apparently said that he's happy to join if the fee can be sorted out between the two clubs. This has been given further weight by the most respected transfer news source there is. Of course, talking about Fabrizio Romano. And if you don't know who that is, you're probably not that into transfers anyway. But Fabrizio Romano is the gold standard. And when he says something is happening, he typically gives it a here we go. He hasn't gone that far, but he has said that Calafiori tops a 3-man list that Arsenal have put together, centre-back positions. Now, Calafiori is 22 years old. He joined Bologna from Basel at the start of last season for around 3.5 million. Look, when I first heard this, I thought this doesn't really seem the position we need. I know that people are saying that he can play as a left back, but typically he's been a left-sided defender. His best performances at Bologna last season came playing left-sided centre-back in a back four. He has also played as a left-sided centre-back in a back three, but we don't really play that. And then I was watching James B talking about this, and he pointed out that Ben White isn't really your typical fullback either. And it's quite conceivable now that I think about it, that this would be the kind of left back we'd put in there. He's a little bit more mobile going forward than a Tomiyasu or a Jakub Kiwior. And if looked at as a possible replacement for Jakub Kiwior, where there's been some speculation he might be leaving, certainly an upgrade. The fee is yet to be agreed. And there is, of course, in any transfer we're interested in, Chelsea are also interested. So this is not quite the done deal yet. There is a lot of noise around this and does seem like there is strong interest from us. Bologna are holding out for 43 million, not least because there is a sell-on clause for Basel that they would get 40% of any deal. So it has to be a substantial deal. And it does seem like quite a lot of money to spend on that position. We are, of course, I think, in need of a left-back. And if we were to bring in Calafiori, then that would probably signal that we aren't going in for Ferdi Kadiolu, who, much to my huge disappointment, played outstandingly well yesterday as Turkey beat Austria. And oh, how close Austria came, but for that fantastic, worldy of a save and the dying embers of the game, almost the last kick of the game. But once more, Kadiolu played outstandingly well, playing sort of as a left wing back, left midfield yesterday. And so personally, watching that game, if there was any positives I could take out of it, being an Austria fan, it'll be honest with you, there really aren't. But Ferdi Kadiolu's performance was outstanding. And if we are going for Calafiori, it's unlikely we'll go for Ferdi. Personally speaking, I'd probably go for Ferdi over this, but I don't make the decisions. Let me know in the comments what you think. And while we're at it, please do go ahead and click like and subscribe if you like content like this. And the next story that I want to cover, it's been around for about a week now, and it is so typical of the transfer windows. A kind of ridiculous story that you get that has everyone running around. This is a TikTok that went viral about 6 days ago, where George GVE, supercar salesman in both senses of the word, he's a super salesman and he sells supercars, apparently recording himself receiving a call from somebody who is either the agent of, or at least acting as a concierge for, a professional footballer currently playing in Germany who will be moving to Arsenal after the Euro.
The car's virtually brand new. It's still at the dealership. So all we need to do is you give me the go-ahead, or I can speak directly to your client, and we'll arrange to get the car over.
John, just send me over some PDFs of the spec, final price, delivered, everything all sorted on the car. Send that over, and then I'm going to run it past him. Won't be looking to do any finance, so we can just clear the balance in one for you.
Is your client UK-based?
He's based over in Germany.
Oh, right, okay. So the car's for Germany or for the UK?
For the UK. He's
right.
just moving over here with his family.
What does he do, if you don't mind me asking?
He's a football player, just moving over to
Starts at the beginning of next season, or has he been here for a while?
at the end of the Euro tournament, he's moving over here. So I think within the next 2 weeks, he'll be over here, settling in, getting house sorted, and then starting training for the new season.
Sounds great. Well, I look forward to hopefully meeting him and meeting yourself as well.
Of course, I thought, oh, Joshua Kimmich is coming. But there are some problems here with this story. I thought I'd take a really analytical view of what is otherwise just a silly TikTok viral and try and work out who this player could be. My first thought, as I said, was hopefully it would be Joshua Kimmich, but there are some problems with that. First of all, Kimmich doesn't have an agent. He represents himself. And if he did have, is it likely the guy would be English? Second of all, this is somebody who apparently doesn't want to own a Urus Performante because he owned one before. And I can find no record. This is how deep I've gone into this. Silly, really. I can find no record of Joshua Kimmich owning a Performante. And also, this doesn't really chime because Bayern Munich have very strict rules on the cars they will allow their players to drive to and from training, having done a deal with Audi. So it doesn't really seem likely. The agent or person purporting to be an agent or representing the player says it has to be a 4-seat car because this man is moving his family to England. Joshua Kimmich does have a family, recently married his long-term girlfriend, but they have 4 kids. So it wouldn't be safe for him to put all of the family in this car. And when I started looking around who else it might be, of course, you think maybe it could be Florian Wirtz or Jamal Musiala, neither of whom have families and also don't have English agents. And then I suddenly thought, well, Leroy Sané, just before we played Bayern Munich, was talking about how much he respected Mikel Arteta. Could it be Leroy Sané? Again, Leroy Sané's agent is German, Christian Schmidt. And so I'm not saying this is definitely an agent, but this story, apart from anything else, it makes no sense, does it? If you're a salesperson and you want to sell cars to high-end clients, what you don't do is secretly record yourself and then upload it to TikTok. It's unlikely this deal would have gone ahead. So for me, I'm afraid this story has nothing but a whiff of bullshit about it, and I'm prepared to eat humble pie if directly after the Euros one of these players turns up. But let me know if you've heard any more about this or if you haven't heard this before. But yeah, this is not happening. This secret German that's coming to England, I think, is a publicity stunt. I think it's nothing more than a promotional video by George GVE, who seems to know his cars and if his watch is anything to go by, is doing quite well at selling vehicles. So from the secret German to the secret talks that Mikel Arteta is apparently having with his namesake Mikel Merino, who plays at Real Sociedad. Looks like we're determined to get a player from Real Sociedad. If it's not going to be Zubimendi, and I don't think it is at this point, but Merino, who plays in that 8th position. And I want a massive thank you to Digi Scott, who is one of the people who always populates the comment section on this video with fantastic content, almost as good, if not better, than the videos themselves. So do make sure you check out the comments on the videos. He made the point after the 1st of July video I made asking who you would bring in, that Merino is available for around 25 million, is a very good midfielder. He's currently with the Spain squad. He's not getting a lot of game time. He's played 3 games. I think he started the game against Albania and came on as sub. Looks really competent from what I've seen of him, which is not very much. And Digi Scott made the point that he, alongside Yusuf Fofana, the 2 of them could be available for 25 million each, and that would make a lot of sense. And certainly that kind of price tag in today's market, a really good signing. And Sport, the Spanish media outlet, reported that Mikel Arteta had talks with Mikel Merino in an effort to lure him to Arsenal, which the Daily Mirror then, of course, reported as secret talks. Nothing apparently secret about this, and there could be something to it. As to Digi Scott's choice of players, I think really good, actually. Yusuf Fofana would be a player that I think makes perfect sense. He's leaving Monaco. He has a price tag of around 25 million. But the big story today, if you're a Tottenham fan, is that he looks like he might have chosen Spurs. Now, obviously, that means we can't have made much of an effort to sign him because no one in their right mind chooses Tottenham over Arsenal. But I think it would be a great signing for them, and I think he would be a great signing in the Premier League. So slightly disappointed to hear that, but there's still many a slip twixt cup. So I also want to say a massive shout out to the Zanzibarian, who also wrote about Fofana a couple of weeks ago, saying what a great signing he was. So I'm sure the three of us, and hopefully you as well, will be keeping your eyes peeled to see if he does end up at Spurs, or if there is a chance we can hijack that deal, as we did with Manu Petit, where it was supposed to be on his way to Tottenham and David Dean got him in a cab to Arsenal. Now, obviously, I'm not saying Fofana is Manu Petit. He is, after all, a World Cup winning legend. And but Fofana is a player that I would definitely like to see come to Arsenal. And let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts on this as well. And also use the comments, as Zanzibarian and Digi Scott have done, to let me know who you would like to see come to the club. It's always really good content in the comments section that I always enjoy. So thank you for that. And finally, also a massive thank you to Digi Scott for always writing "All Hail the Mighty Algorithm," which apparently drives more people to the videos, which, if that's working, thank you so much. I personally would like to second the idea that we should all hail the mighty algorithm. In any case, that's been the roundup of the news stories today. Riccardo Calafiori on his way to Arsenal, if reports are to be believed. If we can sort out a fee, if we meet the asking price of around £43 million, then we could have a very strong player. He had a great Euros and was unlucky to be part of an Italian team that lacked any kind of cohesion or identity, and kind of ringing any bells for England fans at the moment. Anyway, until I see you again, be lucky. Lots of love.